Underwater cemetery with remains of 19th century Civil War soldiers and prisoners found in Florida. A large boulder bearing the name of a man who died in 1861 is one of the several graves found in underwater cemetery off the coast of Florida. The cemetery contains the remains of soldiers and workers who died in the 19th century quarantine hospital on a now submerged island in Dry Tortuga National Park. Only the grave of John Greer, a laborer who died in November 5, 1861, has been identified, but historical records show dozens of people were buried at the site in the Gulf of Mexico. Many soldiers were stationed at Fort Jefferson and prisoners were treated and died in hospitals. The National Park Service explains that there was an outbreak of diseases on the island, including yellow fever that killed dozens of people from 1860s to 1870s, and archaeologists plan to exhume any missing graves. Dry Tortuga National Park is made of 7 islands, protected reef, and is home to 19th century Fort Jefferson. The surrounding islands house naval outposts, lighthouses, naval hospitals, quarantine facilities, and military training grounds. The risk of communicable diseases, including an outbreak of mosquito-borne yellow fever, increased as the fort's population grew with military personnel, prisoners, slaves, support staff, and their families. The fort was abandoned in 1873, but the Naval Hospital Service reoccupied it between 1890 and 1900, and an isolation hospital was established on a nearby island. Josh Marano, marine archaeologist for South Florida National Park and project leader for the study, said in a statement, "This exciting first underscores the potential for untold stories in Dry Tortuga National Park, both above and below water." Fort Jefferson was built to protect one of the most strategically important deep sea ports in North America, and the remains of the structure still stand today. Construction of the fort began in 1846 and took 30 years, although it was never completed. The structure was created to protect one of the North America's most strategic deep-water anchors during the Civil War. The fort also housed prisoners after the Civil War, most notably Samuel Mudd, who was sent there for his part of assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. During this time, more than 2,500 prisoners were held at Fort Jefferson. Historical records show that the location of the hospital, Key West Quarantine, was approved by Congress on August 2, 1888. After being used as a prison, Fort Jefferson served as a quarantine station for the Naval Hospital Service from 1888 to 1900, during which time the site was also used in the Spanish-American War. This finding also underscores the impact of climate change on resources in Dry Tortuga. Archaeologists now hope to uncover more about Geer and the other people buried at the bottom of the bay. The remains of the hospital and the surrounding cemetery are documented as archaeological resources and regularly monitored by members of the South Florida National Park's Cultural Resource Program. Thanks.